Good morning, and I will call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the Executive Committee for July 9th, 2014. I am Betsy Hodges, Mayor and Chair of the committee, joined this morning by committee members, Council Member Cam Gordon, Elizabeth Glidden, and Kevin Reich. We are a quorum of the committee, can conduct the city's business. We have 3 items on our agenda today, 2 from the Human Resources Department. First is a new appointed position, Manager Benefits Administration. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, members of the Executive Committee. I'm Pam Nelms from Human Resources, and I'm here to present and request approval of 2 positions in Human Resources. Actually, both positions, the work for both of these positions are being done. If this was a classified job, these would be called reclassifications. But because it's an appointed job, they're always considered new positions, just to make that clear. I'm going to ask that you find that both of these proposed positions meet the criteria in section 20.1010, Council to Establish Appointed Positions, that you approve the proposed position and refer it to the Ways and Means Committee for consideration, and that you will likewise approve the salary for the position in accordance with the adopted Appointed Employees Compensation Plan effective July 1st, 2014. The first position is titled Manager Benefits Administration. It's been evaluated at 598 points in grade 13, and the salary recommendation, the range is for $94,973 to $104,970. The Director of Human Resources submitted the Human Resources Principal Consultant Benefits Administration position for review. That position, so you know, is valued at 523 points, grade 11, and has a salary range of $82,799 to $91,515. For review, because it has evolved from a program administration focus into an enterprise strategic position since it was last evaluated more than 15 years ago. The position evaluates and compares existing and potential city benefits with those of others, consults with internal and external partners, and consultants and vendors to develop recommendations for new plans and changes to current benefit programs that are consistent with city goals and objectives. The position also recommends and implements long-range benefit and wellness strategies and short-term tactical plans to control costs and improve the overall health and wellness of employees. This significantly affects a major budget expenditure year over year, and as the position always has, it continues to remain responsible for the implementation, communication, and the day-to-day operation of the city's health and welfare benefit programs in accordance with current laws and regulations. Since it was last reviewed in 1998, there have been substantial changes in the laws and regulations pertaining to benefits administration, including the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act and amendments to the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Over time, the nature of the work in the position has significantly evolved away from a process-oriented job, which was concentrated on annual benefits program, to a much more strategic focus with a longer-term point of view. If you'd have any questions about this position, I'd be happy to take those now.
Are there questions about the position? I don't see any.
The second position is titled Director, Human Resources Information System. That's the current title as well. This position is currently valued at 575 points, and the new valuation would be for 603 points. The salary recommendation change at the top is just about $5,000. This position also hasn't been reviewed for a very long time. It was last reviewed in 1997, although it was migrated to the appointed service in 2006. There was no value change to the position when it was converted to an appointed position. This position in the past was primarily charged with the administration and management of the Human Resources Information System database to enable payroll processes and benefit administration and records management, including training and development tracking. Over time, this technology has evolved, and it now integrates with or directly supports additional major enterprise efforts and processes, including selection, performance management, learning management, and that's including e-learning, which is a function unto itself now, employee self-service, and a variety of robust management analytical tools and reports. The position, Director HRIS Administration, has likewise changed over time, And it is both the desire and the expectation of the Director of Human Resources that the position will assist executive leadership with the creation and the continuous improvement of the mission, vision, and goals of the Human Resources Technology Solutions Division, which it now supervises and manages. The position evaluates, establishes, and implements the strategic direction for all core information systems within the human resources area of responsibility. It provides leadership, planning, and management for the design, development, and operation of the enterprise broad-based human resources information systems. This includes the design, development, implementation, and evaluation of market-competitive human resource information systems for the City of Minneapolis, and the management of the staff to operate the systems. If you have any questions about the changes of responsibilities to this job, I'd be happy to answer them now.
Questions about this position? I do not see any. Thank you very much. I will go ahead and move the staff recommendation for both 1 and 2. Is there any discussion on that? Seeing none, all in approval, please signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The next item on the agenda is from me, and it is my nomination to appoint Craig Taylor to the position of Director, Community Planning and Economic Development for a 2-year term to expire January 2nd, 2016, and Executive Director of the Minneapolis Community Development Agency for a 2-year term to expire January 2nd, 2016, for referral to the Community Development and Regulatory Services Committee to schedule a public hearing. I know I sent the letter to everybody with Mr. Taylor's, with Mr. Taylor's background. One of the things that I appreciate about Mr. Taylor and what he brings to this position is both a private sector background and a public sector background, and a public sector background in a bureaucracy that rivals our own, and the great work he has done at the University of Minnesota. Those connections that he has built there have been great. But more than that is his experience in the development world, in the economic development world, his commitment to and work with business and small business in his role as Executive Director at the Office for Business and Community Economic Development and the business and technology sector. The skills he brings from that work are going to enrich and inform the work of CPED moving forward, and brings a skill set I think is wonderful. So he has the management and the background, but more than that, he's very excited. Very excited. That was one of the things that struck me and some others as we talked to him about this position, is how excited he is to do the job. He has a lifelong history in the city of Minneapolis. He has a love for the city of Minneapolis. He has spent many years in North Minneapolis in particular, and both in his personal life, but then also with UROC. He was one of the key people navigating, getting that ship to shore over some very rocky waters. So he shares the vision for the city, and he knows that the vision for the city is about everyone, and that is part of the reason he's so excited to take the job, or be up for the position. And I forward his name without reservation to the committee. So if folks have questions, I am happy to take them. Councilmember Gordon.
Thank you, and I really appreciate and excited about learning more about this appointment. I was just a little bit curious about the council action that's at least on our agenda that says the term begins January 2nd. I appreciated the way you read it, which was a term to expire, or January 2nd, 2014 is what it said here, to expire in 2016. I'm assuming you've given that some thought, and that we'll just align it with other reappointments and sync it up to our process, because it's actually then won't be a 2-year term, because he couldn't be appointed January of 2014. I just put a little clarity on the timing and the term and how we settled on this, and it probably makes perfect sense to some of us. Maybe Mr. Ginder could help me understand how this fits with our protocols.
I will refer that question to Mr. Ginder, or perhaps Ms. Ferguson, or the clerk, who would like to answer that question.
Madam Mayor, I wasn't involved in writing the letter, but he's filling the 2-year term that began January 2nd, although he actually will take duties when he becomes appointed and approved by the city council, but he's filling that term that began January 2nd and will expire at the end of 2015. But to Councilmember Gordon's idea, yes, that does align with the appointment process for all of the other department heads also.
I would say my interpretation of that is that the term exists regardless of the incumbent. And so were he to take it and, or were someone to be in that position and leave, the person we would hire to replace them would then just finish out that term until January 2nd, 2016.
That's excellent clarity for me, and now I think I can communicate it well with others. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Council Vice President Glynn.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just really wanted to echo Councilmember Gordon's comments. I'm glad to see this recommendation coming forward. But B, more so, I probably just look forward to actually meeting with him. I haven't had an opportunity to do so yet, and I think that would be something good to do before we are voting on the appointment. And so I look forward to that happening, just knowing that we want to get Mr. Taylor on board and in position as promptly as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. And indeed, the intention is to have Mr. Taylor meet with any council members who wish to moving forward, and certainly well before the vote. Any other questions? I will move that nomination. All in approval, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That carries. Thank you very much. Seeing no further business before the committee, we are adjourned.